So things are a little rougher than I wanted to show. I was kind of working on some stuff today, but I'll show where we're kind of at. So we're starting to get some of the new art in place. The new materials are not done, so it's still using kind of the old material path. But we're starting to get what we're wanting to hit here. Some complexity in the scene with a lot of rock and mixed in materials. The environment pieces have this. By the way, this new UI in here came from the Gum team, and it's great. It's much better for our editing purposes than what we had, the garbage that I had before, which I did. So this is a lot better. You can come in here and adjust like the parts that are visible. Find the right one. Still working on the UI for that a little bit so that we can get something a little neater, so you can kind of really tell what's being turned on. So you can kind of turn on parts here to kind of get a variance in the mesh. So it's not just, what we didn't want to do is have to like put down one piece at a time and line them all up and everything else. So we're like, well, let's build kind of a master mesh for these pieces. So you just drop in a room and then you can toggle elements on and off to customize the room the way that you want it to work. So those part things are working pretty good. Like here, this little rock tunnel piece here. This is the same part here right after this one that has these in it. Oh, no shadows. Let's turn our shadows on that guy. Wait, is that the right one? Yeah, it is. I must not see shadows. It's interesting. Is it because of the radius, maybe? I don't know. No, it's not the radius. Yeah, I guess it sort of is radius, but anyways. So this is getting better. I'm getting happy where this is at. The materials still are not right. Like, we're switching everything over to physical based rendering kind of material. So it's using a map that has both roughness, metallic, and it also has an ambient occlusion, so we get a little bit of ambient occlusion and baked into the materials. That, along with all the lights, is going to really make it look fantastic. My next steps in all this is and we have some physics in here now, so if I bump into these guys, I get some nice physics and stuff. We haven't spent time. I spent a lot of time on like the world tools and physics and some of the core stuff, but we haven't spent a lot in rendering. But we haven't spent time on like sounds or gameplay in the last couple months. So that'll kind of be the next big thing after that, is getting more gameplay in here and working on sound effects and stuff like that. I currently have collision disabled on these guys, so shooting them does not push them around, but that's the plan. And some of these rooms are broken as we're dropping in some new pieces. There's another spot. And then after all this, rendering wise, I'm going to try to hit a better ambient or a better ambient lighting solution than just flat ambient lighting, and I'm going to try to hit something for a little bit of atmospheric, so a little bit of depth fog and stuff. And I still want to try to hit particles, but particles is going to be the next big thing. So this is still going to be an ongoing larger project. So I don't expect it to be done in the next month or two, but we're going to keep pushing on this to have something, really polished that, shows off MonoGame really well, and that is available to everybody to learn from and experiment with or base their own projects on. It'll be pretty neat once it's completed. So that's where we're at here.
We'll try and extract some. It'd be good if we can also try to make, from a lot of things you're talking about, obviously, especially when it comes to 3D, there's a lot of these tips and techniques and ways to build things, especially if you're going to make them console friendly. So we probably want to find ways to document or build specific content around those subjects as well from this sample, using it as the showcase.
Right. Yeah, for sure. It can definitely be used to learn from, and that's something that we're focusing on, especially with the other starter kit, is making something where people can learn from it. This is a debug build at the moment. I'll turn on some debug stuff. So I mean, it's a debug build running full screen, which at this on my screen here is almost 4K, I think it is, or it's 2.5K or something like that. It's still running at 200 frames per second. So like the performance is great, even with a lot of mesh data and all the lighting and everything that's happening. So, and this is a debug build. If I put it in release, it'll be running at 1,000 frames a second. So we're in really good shape for performance and everything here. I think that it'll really show off what we're capable of doing here, which was always capable. It was just a matter of pulling it all together.